I do not understand why I am getting paid less than Rob when we have the same job and do the same amount of work.
Well, it has always been like that.
Been like what? Unfair.
According to Jerry Jacobs, author of Gender Inequality in Higher Education, women earn less than men even with the same level of education. He adds, gender difference in earning persists despite the parity in education attained by women.
I do not see how that is fair. We go through the same amount of education and then we are forced to work harder, just because we are women. According to Emily Kane and her discussion on the Enlightenment approach, education provides knowledge and values that foster awareness of social inequalities and tries to reduce them. If this is true, why do these differences still exist?
Well, later in Emily Kane's article, Education and Belief About Gender Inequality, she also states that education offers greater returns for men than women. Men have always benefited from system more women. Women do have to work harder to earn as much as men.
Exactly. Education is supposed to give women access to independence, status, and opportunities. However, looking at women in the workforce and education, when will women gain these status and opportunities?
Until there is a change in the way people think about how men and women do things. People have conception of what men and women should be doing. Francine M. Deutsch discusses this in the article, Undoing Gender.
I have read that article and she is trying to refute that men and women do gender. In the article, she is trying to refocus the research on gender inequality to examine the change in social interaction by looking at 1. When and how social interactions become less gendered, not just differently gendered, 2. The conditions under which gender is irrelevant in social interaction, 3. Whether all gendered interactions reinforce inequality, 4. How the structural and interactional levels might work together to produce change. 5. Interaction as the site of change.
This is true. However, she also states that gender inequalities will exist until we change the perception of how men and women do gender in certain situations.
I do believe that women have the power to change their position. Just as Emily Kane stated, education has the power to empower women to look at their position critically.
If that is true, then why, according to Jerry Jacobs, do women in the United States surpass their counterpart in other countries in access to school at both the secondary and tertiary level more than any other century? And in addition, he states gender inequality in earning persists despite the equality in education. Jacobs cited Holland and Eisenhower, whom stated the culture of romance leads young women away from a focus on their studies and career.
So you are saying a reason why women cannot earn as much as men are because they lose focus due to romance. I do not understand why women are faulted for wanting to have a career and a family. And it is frustrating to hear that women are surpassing men in education, however are limited in the workplace.
It may not be fair, but this is how it has been. And until more people see it the way you do, the system is not going to change.
Well, it is not fair that I put all this work into this job and I am not equal to Rob.